Hello everyone, I'm Shruti Khanna, the co-founder of UASIT, and today I'm here with Ms. Rashi Goel. Rashi ma'am is an HR consultant and works with organizations in creating customized people processes to increase business effectiveness. Before becoming an HR consultant, ma'am worked for a lot of Indian multinational companies, namely Vedanta Limited and Glenmark Pharmaceuticals. She worked on key projects in campus engagement, workforce analysis, I'll say this again. She worked on key projects in campus engagement, workforce analysis, attrition analysis, talent identification, talent development, and engagement analytics. You, ma'am, those are certainly a lot of projects to have worked on. But ma'am, thank you so much for being here today. We are really, really happy to have you on board.
Thank you so much, Ruby. Thank you for having me. And to be honest, that's not a lot of work that I have done, but just a few of the projects that I was lucky to have within my corporate experience.
Certainly, ma'am, that's modest of you to say. But ma'am, so being a young graduate, what do you think are skills that are majorly looked at in candidates while conducting HR interviews?
So I have conducted multiple interviews in my tenure as a HR professional. And there are multiple aspects that we look at a candidate. And there are also multiple touch points that a candidate has with the HR department per se. So the preliminary rounds of discussions are mostly about the hygiene checks that we do, where we understand your experience, where we understand the educational background that you come from. We also explain you the role that we are offering and how it, resonates with your career progression that you want to see for yourself. We check for your location comfort, we check for your shift comfort, and we check for salary expectations, etc. So that's the first checkpoint that we have with the candidate. And then post that, when we are actually looking at hiring a candidate on board in one of those final interviews, we are looking at the personality and the values that the candidate holds. That's the major focus that an HR professional has. You would have heard the saying, hire character and train skill. So that's the key focus that we have. We try to see if this person will be able to fit culturally with the team or the person that they are going to be working with, the hiring manager per se, and the company overall. Does the values of this candidate match the values of the company? Because that can be a very big blunder in case it's not a match.
Yes.
So you would also know that a lot of companies have these psychometric assessments nowadays, where they have the tools which identify the sort of ethics or the traits that the person possesses. So that I would say that for an HR professional, that are the main things that we are looking at. If I have to name out a few skills, it will be learning agility, for example, result orientedness, openness to change, the fact that person is his ethics and integrity are on point or not. Can they work in teams, and also adaptability in these days, because the market is changing. Can the candidate also change quickly and understand that the business is undergoing a regular change? So I would say those are the key aspects as an HR professional that we would like to see in a candidate.
Ma'am, well, those are some great aspects that you pointed out. How can students work towards bettering these skills and acing their interviews?
So when I say particularly for a student or a fresh graduate, I would say just the preparation piece of it. In my experience, preparation is what I have seen has been lacking. There are numerous articles written online. If you just Google the words HR interview, you will have this entire list of 100, 200 questions which are most frequently asked. To be honest, there are around 10 to 12 most frequently asked questions, like tell me something about yourself, why are you joining the company, what is your career aspirations, what sort of job role are you looking for, your strengths and weaknesses. Like these are the basic questions which are already available. But however, what I've seen is that the preparation lacks. So if you really want to ace an interview, be prepared is what I would say. Know about these questions, prepare those answers. And when I say prepare, don't rehearse it like you are going to a theater. Just know what are the main points that I want to talk about in each of these questions. Frame them in a form as a story, so that the person who is listening to it is engaged, is actually attentively listening to you. And also try and highlight your personality, because that's what, like I said, that's what we are looking for. We are looking to hire for you as a person, because do understand that the skills that you possess, they can be further trained. That is someone who has a good passion for the job, or is someone who's ready to learn. I can still train them on certain skills, but your character, your personality is something which has built over the years, and that's not something which I can, as a company or an organization, groom within a very short period of time. So be prepared with those aspects, I'd say.
And ma'am, despite lack of preparation, what are some small and big things that end up being major blunders in interviews?
So, to be very honest, major blunders, there are many. I have, in my experience, had a lot of blunders. Uh, when I say preparedness, I have seen people walk in with just the not appropriate attire. I would not say they were badly dressed, or it's not about the quality of the cloth, it's just what you were wearing. Was it right for the job that you're applying for? So, let's say, for example, if you're working in a research lab or if you're working in a plant, and you cannot turn up for an interview in your chappals. You're not working for a startup which is within an office and has that sort of a work attire. So attire being one of the major mistakes that I have seen. Secondly is a lack of preparedness in terms of knowing the name of the organization, knowing about the organization, knowing about the role per se. So I have had candidates who just walk in and they don't know what role they're applying for, what designation, let alone the designation. They don't even know the department. So those are major blunders, I'd say. And sometimes it's very difficult for us to understand if these blunders are because of the nervousness of the candidate or because of lack of preparedness. To be honest, like I would not be able to differentiate between laziness here and just nervousness. So make that job easier for us, I'd say, and we would obviously be better equipped to further you in your career aspirations.
All right, ma'am. It has been famously said that the HR department is the unofficial psychologist, event planner, peacemaker, lawyer, and teacher. In fact,
Yeah.
most of us, we don't even know the role HR plays once we are in a company and how they can help us with our salary or with our appraisals. So, ma'am, what is the role that the HR plays and how can we be benefited by it?
So again, HR as a department is a very vast department. We ourselves have multiple functions within us, wherein there is a recruitment team, there is a campus engagement team, there is a payroll team which takes care of his salary. Then there's a talent management team, L&D, business partnering. There are various aspects to HR within itself. For an employee, they majorly and directly interact with the HR business partner or an HR generalist at their respective work locations. Uh, this person per se is designated to make your entire employee experience better. Actually, the entire HR department is there to make your work experience better. So you should and you must reach out to this person at any point of time in your career where you feel that you are either stagnated or you have any concerns, any grievances. If you can also report in case you see any unethical practices by your manager or by your peers. And also being closer to this person or being at least in touch with that person, know that you will always be someone who will be on top of their head, and you will also come across as someone who's willing to go further in their career and are not just looking at stagnation. Also, it's just not about the HR department. I'd say as a candidate or as an employee, as a fresher, you should also know that networking is very important. When I say networking basically helps you understand the various aspects of a job, various roles that are happening. So if you're, say, in a conversation with an HR and they're friends, you might just get to know of an opening within the company which you are aspiring for. While there are obviously practices where it will come on the portal and you have to apply through that, but what's the harm of getting to know that through a person and maybe get a reference from them, because they have known you personally, so they will be in a better position to refer you for the position. So it's building that personal connect. But yes, do reach out to them in your company if you have any grievances per se, because that's one thing which I have seen. Freshers don't come up to us and they are not comfortable in the new roles, because it's a very different transition from a student to moving to a corporate life. The transition is very difficult, and this person can help you ease that. They can understand in case there are any learning gaps, so maybe they can organize certain trainings or programs for you which will help that transition. In case you're facing challenges under one hiring manager, they might have to look at the aspect of moving you to another department or another hiring manager or another manager per se. So these are very few smaller aspects an HR can help you out with, and this will genuinely, trust me, will make your life easier. And we will not really think too much about it, because that's our job, that's what we do, we make your experience better.
In fact,
That's it, that's how we help.
you rightly pointed out about these training sessions. A lot of us, when we are getting into companies, we are unsure of the roles, the tech stack that we are going to have to use. And that often builds a lot of pressure on us. I know a lot of freshers who go to office the first day really jittery about they feel that they don't know anything at all and that they're going to let down their company and their hiring managers. But yeah, HR plays a really, really crucial role in that. And being in touch with them right from the point of interviewing to actually getting into that company, that period is that golden period you can use. So yeah, as long as we don't pester our HR managers, because that's
Yes.
as well. So yeah, communication, emails, LinkedIn, that's perfectly fine. But
Yes.
I think that's great.
Not just that, to be also when you're when you sort of interview at a place, right? You talk to the HR person, so you interview, you follow very rigorously till the time the interview happens, and the moment the interview ends, you don't even bother sending a message saying thank you so much for scheduling the interview. That, as a candidate, I would say, is a very big differentiating factor. I have always remembered those candidates for my future position, even in case they were not hired for the position that I actually was looking at them for. But because they had the courtesy to, after the end of the session, like their interview, just send a thank you saying, thank you for arranging this, and how their experience was as a candidate, if they liked it, not liked it. That talks a lot, because that's appreciation for the work that I do. And to be very honest, and HR is actually one of the most underappreciated departments in the company. We really crave for that. So if a candidate is able to provide that, or even an employee is able to provide that, we would really look forward to engaging more with the person. That's a human trait, I would say. Anyone would like appreciation.
In fact, ma'am, the thing that always stands out about HR interviews is that you will always leave that interview learning something new about yourself or about your own skills, because HR interviewers are not the kind who will be like, they'll ask a question and if the candidate won't answer, be like, yeah, you can leave. They'll always be like, listen, so this is something that you have to work on. How you can work on it. Technical interviews won't do that. They'll ask, they just talk to you, you know the answer good enough. You don't know it, they'll be like, yeah, you may leave. So that's something that's really, really good about HR interviews. And yeah, the more we give them, the more exposure we get. But the tips that you talked about, if we start working on those in that preparatory session that we have, it's much, much better. And who knows, we can even crack the very first job that comes our way.
I mean, honestly, the cracking a job is not so difficult. I genuinely fail to understand why it's become that sort of a barrier that, I have to crack a job. uh, I always I always tell you that in case you're applying for a job which is in line with what you really want to do in life, and if it is something which talks, you can talk passionately about, you are definitely going to go through. But yes, if in case you're going to apply for a job which is just one of those million, then you will completely keep on going on saying, I want to crack this job, I want to crack this job. That's going to happen. But in case you really like the job and you really want to apply, everyone can see through the passion that you have. And that's when I say that preparation just tries to put a framework to the passion that you have. And that's what happens when you're too spontaneous about the main point that you wanted to make. So yes, do focus a little on preparation, but don't be too prepared as well. Don't become a parrot and say, I had learned, I am Rashi Goyal, so I will say exactly in that way. I have seen that also. So that's one more mistake which I would like to point out. That don't become a parrot. Be prepared, but don't like ratify things. I'd say that.
Sure. And thank you so much. That was a truly insightful video. And we took back some really, really great tips. And we're all going to be applying those pretty soon. And we write you messages telling you how our experience was.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ruby, for this. And I hope that this video helps a lot of people. And in case, I would love to interact further in case there are doubts with individuals.
Sure, ma'am. We'll add a LinkedIn profile in the description and people can get in touch with you directly.
Yes, definitely. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.